is like saying that because not everything can sustain everybody because of their lack of abundance, sustainability, and availability, is the exact same conclusion every candid environmental scientist will most likely choose to discuss during an interview. I published a blog to suggest passing through capital without principal subsidy by offering their investors discounts in their tax bill due to municipality technical default in order to maintain their business and keep the debtor out of actual default, as in it costs far less to pay single-digit liabilities on the notional value paradoxically than to pay the cash flows long-term for immediate sale at forwardly contracted artificially high-engineered prices far in excess of the previous month's rationally acceptable price through a synthetic put option described by the Khan Academy on YouTube and later receiving dollars to million for their work in promoting education to anybody with connection to our global information network, I suspect, due to my persistent featuring of Mr. Khan particularly and promotionally. Meanwhile, large institutional multi-million-dollar blocks still frighten inexperienced new institutions. Many investors in this market would happen to create such wild fluctuations profitably and intentionally in price because of the proportional changes in the implied volatility that due to the changes that magnitude of price change implies by the change in the change, mostly makes only mathematical sense in an economic context. Even though the third derivative change in the change, related to pricing histories, charts, exists from valuably enabling analytical financial reports. If securities should never have traded at potentially irrationally clearly erroneous realized prices, then were it not for the actual financial strength of that particular CD strand, that happened to be the one your dealer recommended, and alternatively choosing to invest due to the additional 50 basis point 0.6% AP premium yielding 9% Ponzi fund, you would not have lost if you inquisitively analyzed what you were choosing to own for purely speculative monetary gain. Could it possibly ever be that to do what we need to do, all of us who are in the battle of corporate or financial Armageddon can continue to defend our nation's economic future's potential vitality from the capitalist apocalypse foretold by nearly every commodity-based currency exporter who never reinvested and gave back their oil in exchange for paper dollars, could actually be theoretically used marginally to purchase these bonds, to pay interest on the collateral, but in keeping oil prices low by currency trading restriction sanctions simultaneously. Unfortunately, once this music stops, it'll probably be the Federal Reserve holding the bag of TARP funds, with nearly every single non-performing security left over from that debacle due to the very nature of the offer to buy implied in the Fed's actions October 2008. Ultimately meaning that the American public likely will not understand why they can't pay for basic necessities, but will preoccupy themselves complicatedly, complacently apathetic with idle reality TV, useless, also apathetic, placating purchases of unproductive entertainment experiences, casual relationships, and social experimentation to live what we all refer to as our life. Not your life. Not the life my constituent gladly paid $500,000 for in exchange for a superficial, politically idle promise. My life. My nation's life, and my life may not seem worth fighting for, not considering my nation's life's relationship to my life, given that its monetary system is about to collapse, even though having known every boomer's stories about how Social Security would fail by an avoidable certain Ponzi scheme governmental default, was a publicly documented opinion throughout America very shortly after American journalists